But this party right here, he's been to LA County and the Asian gang module, and he knows how to, he knows how it is. And I'm not sure what the other prison he's been through, but he's with the Pinoy pride also, man. I mean, yeah, of course, everything, you always gonna have your pride from your street gang or whatnot, but he knows the politic, the California politic, and he's with the Pinoy and shit, man. So you know, he ain't really trying to sweat the small stuff. Like he ain't tripping about the street shit, you know, because that's just how it is in the streets. You're trying to kill me, I'm trying to kill you. That's just how it works. What up, loved ones? What it do? It's Pare Young right here. You know where I'm from. Thanks for tuning in. And if you're new to this channel right here, just hit the subscribe button real quick and give it a like if you think it's cool, if you think it's real. So right now, man, this is a continuation of my coincidences or God's will series that I was talking about. From my point of view, from my perspective, I'm sharing my experience, man, to this is what I witnessed and I want to share. So you guys judge for yourself. What do you think? If there's really a higher being that's in control, or we're in control of everything and there's no such thing as a higher being or whatever. So there you go judge for yourself. But so far I've already talked about from the streets and CYA and Pelican Bay, Kern Valley, Calipat, stuff like that, Tracy, DVI, OH Close, Norwalk, CYA, and all the other stuff, Silmar, Juvenile Hall. But now I'm talking about Arizona, COCF, out of state, Oklahoma, out of state, High Desert State Prison in Susanville, and then I went to Ironwood, Orange County, Santa Ana, and then Arizona, Florence, INS. So this is like a whole different place. So anyways, let's get started. So right now I went to after Calipat, I finally, my points went down, and after 3 years in Calipat, I went to a level 3, barely, like couple points away. I made it to a level 3, and they called me up real quick to the counselor's office, like, look, man, you're going to out of state, COCF, California out of state program. Like, do you want to go? Do you agree? And my thinking was, fuck, I wanted to go to a level 3 in California so I could still be closer to my people, but level 3 is a level 3 and I hear good things about it. Plus my homeboy Jumper and Snapper are in Mississippi, out of state, and they said that shit is the business. So that's where I wanted to go, and hopefully we get to see each other during that time. So yeah, fuck it, let's go. Plus I'm used to not being able to see my family anyways, because I've been to so many other far places such as Pelican Bay and all the other stuff. So, and I've been to lockdown, so you know what I mean. I feel bad for them, but I can do it. If the place sounds as good as they say, then yes. And plus it's a level 3, it's gonna be a better place. Out of state, to those who don't know, out of state program prisons that they had during my time, this was back in 2012, 2013. There's no lifers in there, and there's no people. Everybody in there has a parole date, so most likely it's gonna be a fair game, you know, to all of us. It's gonna be more or less. It's gonna be more safe, from what I was thinking, and yeah. So little did I know, it's gonna be more of a wild place, because some people are fresh from the streets and they still had that street mentality. They never been nowhere, never got laced up by the level 4 soldiers and stuff like that. So yeah, I found out, man. So I went to Arizona. This was in La Palma, I believe. And bam, mind you, during this time I was still an active gang member, like straight foot soldier, man, like going all the way, still gang banged out, still with the business, still active, you know, because that's how it is. That's how it is in there, man. That's just, you know, that's just how I get down. And yeah, so I went to Arizona, and what happened was I ran into this other pare from the streets that I knew from the streets that we blasted before in the streets. Big ass pare, man. And shit, I thought he wanted to get his run backs or something, because I was assuming that these cats right here that are from the out of state and level 3 are more of a like a street mentality, and that they would more than likely be set tripping compared to the people that had been to wars and stuff from level 4s, been to some serious shit. So yeah, but it wasn't really the case, because we talked about it in Arizona out of state. They got the PlayStation, they got the Xbox. It was lovely right there, man. They had everything. So I was in the cell with him. We was talking about it. Hey, remember that when you blast you fools? Like, yeah, man. So what's up? You said tripping? Nah, I don't give a fuck. With the woo, woo, woo. Well, we homies. We ain't tripping. We don't care. I don't care. Cause that's I had a different mindset coming from a level 4 180 design, kicking it with all the lifers in there, man. But I was ready for. My mentality was I was preparing myself mentally to kick it with people that are from the level 3s and people that has parole dates and fresh from the streets, fresh from level 1s, people that never been to level 4. I have an expectation because I've already kind of like looked at it that way. But this party right here, he's been to LA County and the Asian gang Majo, and he knows he knows how it is. And I'm not sure what the other prison he's been through, but he's with the Pinoy pride also, man. I mean, yeah, of course, everything. You always gonna have your pride from your street gang or whatnot, but he knows the politic, the California politic, and he's with the Pinoy and shit, man. So he ain't really trying to sweat the small stuff. Like, he ain't tripping about the street shit, because that's just how it is in the streets. You're trying to kill me, I'm trying to kill you. That's just how it works. So, but anywho, so long story short, we ain't tripping. We're just smoking. I'm just kicking it with him, man. In his cell, I've been going to the cell, just chopping it up, and then everything's going smooth. Everything's just fun and dandy, and then next thing you know, he got into it. The bigger party that I was telling you about, he got into it with some of the Kamai homies, man. I don't know why or how. I can't really get into the details, but they just did not like each other, man. So the other party was trying to like catch that fade and trying to intimidate the other Kamai homie, but that fool ain't fucking intimidated, man. What's up? Let's go, man. So the party thought he was gonna back down, but and nothing happened. They ended up not getting down in the blinds, because I talked to the party like, look, bro, that's not that simple, man. You're not gonna just call people out like that. It's gonna get cracking. There's like 4 Kamais in there, and there's a consequence if you start fucking trying to act hard and trying to push the line on the other homie. Then it's gonna cause there's gonna be consequences, man. It could be like a racial thing. There's only 2 of us. There's 4 of them. Fool, it's not even worth it, dog. Just squash that shit. Oh, I don't care. Just what the woo. All right, for sure. But long story short, I talked to both of them. I'm cool with both of them. As a matter of fact, the other Kamai homie, hopefully, he comes through on the show. He was there. We can talk about that also. And yeah, man, I just remember I was avoiding all kinds of shit, man. A lot of things that I thought was gonna go down end up not happening, and for me, that was already a blessing. Because first, the things that I didn't like, that I didn't want to happen, that's gonna fucking break my people's heart some more, is catch more time or even catch life. But at this time, me still doing my time, I was still an active gang member. Basically, like, I was still an active foot soldier, man. I wasn't hiding nowhere, like any religion or anything like that. I was all the way. Because I want to do my time clean and get out with peace of mind, So that was just my thing, though. That's just my personal thing. So, and plus, I've been influenced, like I said, I've been influenced by a lot of OGs, man, old folks. So my kind of thinking is like a little bit different compared to the age that I was. I was like more precocious, as you would call it. That's how I consider myself, So yeah, so I got away with that. Everything's good. And then after La Palma reception, I went to Oklahoma, and I was still loving the culture. I was still loving the Xbox, the PlayStation, the everything, man. And at this point, I still had my rig, my own ere, my outfit, and I was just still doing my thing, man. Like, luckily, I had no problems with my setting. Like, I don't try to hide things. I don't try to hide nothing. Like, look, this is what I do, but I take care of business, and you ain't gotta worry about me, you know. And then nobody said nothing. No, and nobody had no problem with it because they see how I get down. I was see what's dangerous is those dolphin folks and homies, especially if another Pinoy is a dolphin and end up catching up or end up racking up debts. Then there's gonna be a retribution. It's also gonna be a Pinoy that has to stab him to get him off the yard. Otherwise, if he doesn't pay the debt through other races, then it's gonna cause a big issue, a racial riot, in which everybody's trying to avoid. Because you can't just think about yourself. You always have to think about the car, the whole car. You gotta always have to think about everybody. So you start just thinking about yourself and being selfish, you're gonna get stabbed. Straight up. That's just how it works. It's called retribution. I've seen it happen. I've heard it happen so many times. Filipino stabbing a Filipino because there's a pride. To those who don't know, retribution is like, for example, I started disrespecting different races and not paying debts. Instead of my own people, the Asian Islanders, let me get stabbed by a different race for like a Mexicans or blacks or whites or different race. They have that pride that, no, we're not gonna let you stab our people. We're gonna stab them ourselves. Only we can hurt them. We'll do it ourselves. You know, that's just how it works, and it's called retribution. So that's why I've seen, Pinoys being forced to stab their own kind if they get out of line and start doing something that's out of pocket that has to be dealt with. You know what I mean? So pushing forward, man. Luckily, none of that happened. I'm chilling, kicking in Oklahoma. This was around 2012, 2014. Mind you, if I feel like I'm still the war freak mindset. This is still active GP mainline. If I feel like the situation is not fair and the enemy is somehow bigger, and I feel like, or maybe perhaps scientifically I might not win the fight, I don't fight fair. I'm always gonna use a weapon, whatever it is, because I don't wanna lose. Nobody likes losing, man. You know. But that was just me, though. You know, that's just me being more cautious and having that survival mentality, doing my time. You know. So Oklahoma, everything was all right, man. I'm hella far from home. Unfortunately, I didn't make it to Mississippi because that's where I really wanted to go. Like I said, because of the homeboy jumper and snapper right there from the hood that I knew from the streets, you know. But it's still, nevertheless, it's still a level 3/level 2, and it was still Disneyland. It was still a lovely place. But unfortunately, we had to go and take off on another race on 2-to-1 ratio. There was like twice on the little pod. There was like twice 2-to-1 ratio. There's more than them than us, but we had to take off and bust a grape, and with the element of surprise. But luckily, the only injuries I've got was the broken jaw. Steel plate on my broken jaw and my freaking broken hand. That's about it. So for me, that's a blessing. That's a miracle. I survived that. You know, people may not consider that, oh, you just got lucky, or you just whatever. But me, like I said, this is my point of view. There's a higher being, man, watching out for me. You know, so there you go, man. After Oklahoma, I got kicked out, and I went back to high desert, and then high desert was like a more serious place. It's all about disciplined people that knows how to do level 4 time, and I already know how by being on the level 4 before. So I was just doing my thing, minding my own business, staying out the way. And what do you call this? There, but you're not gonna avoid getting into something, man. Like no matter how good you think you're doing, like getting into it with the police sometimes, talking shit back. And then me as a youngster, I had to check myself because the older homie told me like, look, man, just fucking don't say nothing unless you're gonna bust a grape. Don't talk shit. Don't call the police a bitch or anything like that if you're not gonna bust a grape. So I wasn't doing none of that, but I'm like being sarcastic and stuff like that. So they started fucking with me, man. I can't really say if they're like racist country folks out there, but for a fact, they held on to my package, man, for a long time. Supposedly they can't find it. Supposedly they just didn't want to give it to me, man. But it's the inmate's right to be for them to give you a package, because I wasn't like I was a medium A. I wasn't what do you call this? I wasn't restricted to have a package. I was a mainline GP. I wasn't in the hole. I wasn't in ad sec. So I'm supposed to receive my package, and yet they're saying that they lost it. They lost it. So what I did was, instead of being emotional and talking shit, which I wasn't gonna bust a grape, anyways, on whoever's doing that crooked shit. What I did was I went about it in a smarter way, which was the 602 appeal. I appealed it. I appealed it to the best of my ability using different words, and it took some time. It took some time, but eventually I ended up winning the appeal, and they eventually gave my package. Months and months and months later, supposedly they found it. Come on, man. So I was happy when I won the appeal. They gave me my package, but at the time I wasn't able to enjoy some of my treats, like the donuts and the honey buns, because they're like already they went bad, molded. They went bad, man. So but it's all good. I think at least I still got my package, though. I won that thing without having to doing anything else nonsense that's gonna end up me catching more time or anything like that. So there you go. That's high desert. Oh, and also, before I forget, there was a circumstances also when I was on my way at work, and they already cracked the door this much to warn me, like, get ready for work, get ready for work. Magno, that's my last name. And yeah, man, I have my boots on. They crack. All they gotta do is just crack the door open so I can leave the building and go to work. And sure enough, while I was already waiting in my bed, there was a racial riot outside with the blacks on the yard, with the blacks and the Asian Islanders. But it was like a 5-to-1 ratio, man. There was like 100-to-20. It was way more than them. And I was supposed to be in there because I was supposed to be in the yard on the way to work. But for some reason, just the nick of a time, I didn't, I escaped that little racial riot, which could have cost me more time also, and whatever could happen. So, like I said, those are the things that I consider a blessing, and there's people that in the yard that you don't usually, you could kick it in the yard, chop it up, and be like, yeah, whatever, what's up, but like not live with each other, man. Because in the cell, if you get a bad cellie, you ended up getting into a cell fight, it could cost your life also. I've seen it happen before. Cellies killing each other's cellies. Of course, we're all men. We're not gonna break it down and say tap out, that's it. We're gonna fight to whatever and shit, because that's your name. That's what they're gonna know you for. So I've been blessed by not being able to be in that position to the point where it's gonna go that far. Just lucky, man. Just lucky. I've always all my sellers, despite how big they are, they've always respected me. I've always respected them back. Nobody was bullying nobody. It was just some OG shit, man. That's just how it was, And yeah, man. So those are the things I also consider the blessing. having some good, cool cellies. Not all of them, but for the most part, it was alright. I learned a lot from every single one of them. You know, I had cellies that locked it up on me before, several times, but everything was good. Everything was good. You know, so after High Desert, my points came down, and I finally moved to Ironwood State Prison. And I was after going to Ironwood, I was only a couple months left to the pad, man, to go home. But before I went home in Ironwood, since Ironwood State Prison is close to LA County, excuse me, I was getting more visits right there. And what do you call this? Yeah, man, after I was getting visits right there, nothing pretty much happened. I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, man. I'm starting to like, fuck, I made it. I'm about to go home, and this is it. This is real, man. After all these years, I'm out of here, man. I'm just staying away from nonsense, whatever. And I signed in the medical to get my a blood test to try to see if I got like a HIV or hepatitis C. So I would know the answer already, man, because I've been using, like I said, I've been using the outfit. I've been slamming with anybody's shit, and luckily, another blessing, no. So I came out clean and good to go. After that, paroled. I went to Orange County. Everything was good. I made it. I felt like everything was a joke right there, because people are already like getting deported, and people are going home, going to the feds. The feds is like people that are like more organized crime. It's all about their money. People in there, those locked up in there, some are facing 25 years to life or 25 years for distribution and getting caught with a bunch of drugs and a gang of white collar job crimes. Motherfuckers making millions of dollars, man, doing white collar crime, and all kinds of people that are just all about their money, man. And I learned a lot from them. I'm still in contact with a lot of them too, and some of them I've done business with already. So yeah, I've learned, but meeting all those people doing illegal stuff made me realize also how nonsense that is, and how there's a way where I could live legally and still make as much, even more, than doing illegal nonsense. You know what I mean? Doing the easy way or whatever. So I appreciated that you know, I've met all these people and learned from every single one of them, man. So there you go, man. This right here. So wait, before I end this, I must admit, like in Arizona and in Florence, meeting all these people, that organized people doing white collar stuff, I was tempted before I came out the streets, because at that time I was already thinking about making a lot of money because I'm already getting out. I was tempted to do what they were doing, because I noticed how they're not as disciplined as I am, and although they are knowledgeable to do all those illegal money making millions, I could do it better, because they may have the knowledge, but they lack the discipline, in which I had all of them plus the knowledge. So I was tempted. I was really tempted, because I feel like I could pull it off way better than they did. But at the same time, like I said, it made me realize that it's not even worth it, man. So there you go. This right here concludes my coincidences and God's will series, and I'm about to continue with the rest of everything that I've planned, soon to be revealed. I appreciate everyone, man. I love you. I love all the supporters. Thank you for supporting, man. And hopefully I get to meet you guys one day right here in the Philippines, man. Come kick it. This is the paradise. This is the motherland right here, man. So there it is. Say what you mean and mean what you say, because real recognize real, homeboy. I'm out of here.